What's up, Simply Fab fam? Welcome back to our another podcast episode.
Another podcast episode. It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been like, what, a couple months maybe?
Yep.
Yeah. Feels good to be back in the studio on the podcast, though.
It's always fun. Yeah, it's always a blast. Just want to share our thoughts on a couple things that have been going on. Crazy already as of right now. We've had a crazy 2024 as far as everything that's come out, you know.
Well, it's like, what Cat Williams said, a lot was going to come out, I mean, I don't know too much about him, because he's up there at that caliber, but I'm just going off of what he said, and he said, a lot will come out. So, a lot has been coming out to where I feel like traumatizing to my childhood,
Yes. So let's get into it.
Yeah, let's get into it. So, if you haven't seen would you call it a documentary or?
Yes, it's a few series, I think 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Another one coming out April 12 or
That's
something
crazy.
like that.
I'm already traumatized by the first one.
Yeah, so we're talking about Quiet on Set. It's a documentary all about Nickelodeon and the childhood actors and actresses.
Yeah.
It's really sad, and we grew up watching it. Actually, I always share this with Deontay. My parents never really cared to have cable at home, which was probably a good thing. But I do remember Nickelodeon a lot from going to my cousin's house. They would always be watching, Nickelodeon and, SpongeBob. So, I do remember a lot of that.
Yeah.
And so it is devastating. And I heard, actually, I asked a Brazilian friend that if she knew about it, and she said, yeah, it's been all over the news, in Brazil too.
In Brazil. Wow.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, it's a huge, huge thing that's going on. And it is sad. It's sad to know in any situation, children being abused, sexually abused in any situation, whether it's, in Hollywood and acting or not, or at home, which is most of the cases, it's with a trusted adult, and in this case, it's the same. It was a trusted producer that the family just completely, trusted these people.
Well, for me and for a lot of probably American kids growing up, we all used to see Nickelodeon and think man, that looks fun. It looks amazing, with the slime, and it's just entertainment. There was nothing really educational about it. It was all just entertainment, from the Amanda Show to Drake and Josh to pretty much all of them. They were all just entertainment. I know a lot of American kids grew up watching Dan Schneider's shows. At the time, it was just entertaining. It made you laugh. It was captivating. It kept you in there, and that's why he was so successful. You start to realize and see what's going on behind the scenes. Things aren't what they really seem. People go off of just perception, but not really, really knowing what's going on like that. We all just go off of what we see. It's kind of like judging a book by its cover. This thing really opened my eyes to where you can't judge nothing by the book of its cover, because those kids looked like they were having the time of their lives, and they looked like they were enjoying every moment of it. You just never really know what's going on, so it's scary, So that documentary just really traumatized me, traumatized my childhood. I'm like, oh man, this is crazy. Just the stuff that's coming out, what you're seeing, what you're being exposed to. I've seen a lot of stuff, and not from Nickelodeon to I seen some crazy stuff in Power Rangers too. They said some weird stuff. So when you look back, when you look back on, you're like, you telling me none of the adults caught this? You tell me that this is so big and no one ever called this out or exposed the actions that are being taken in some of these skits, with the kids and with, us, we didn't know, growing up. So you're a kid, but when you become an adult and you were observant as to what's going on and what's right from wrong, I had my right for wrong, and it's to where, there's some lines that I wouldn't cross. I can't even speak for everybody else, It's just lines I wouldn't cross. And if I see that is wrong, that's how I believe and that's what I feel,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think it's conflict of interest, because they're earning, the parents begin to, earn money and get used to a certain lifestyle. So of course they're gonna, be more trusting with those people and not say no to certain things. I guess they would be asked to go to parties and, at their homes, the producers' homes, and the parents didn't really know how to, stand their ground, and they I think specified, right, too, that the parents weren't allowed to go to those parties.
Yeah, they
It was
said
just-
not allowed to go to those parties, and sometimes they used to make the parents get out the room. Like, why shouldn't a parent should always be present, you know, for one, but why would you make them get out of the room? That would make me like, that would make me question it right then and there. You know what I'm saying? Like, this doesn't seem right. So, like you said, a lot of them was probably blinded by the money, you know, and they was like, hey, this is going to make us, you know, get us out, you know, and, you know, like the black kid said on the documentary, he said, oh, this was to get my family out the hood, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And stuff like that, you know, so people, they just brush stuff under the rug, or they allow things to go down that they really don't agree with. But, you know, when times are hard, you know what I mean, and desperate measure comes, people do some desperate things, you know, for money, for fame, for whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's selling yourself short, you know, because I wouldn't sell myself short. If I don't like to do something, I'm not going to do it. I don't care what dollar sign is attached to it or anything, you know what I'm saying? Like with my music, I'm doing my music. I love to do music. I'm trying to grow on my own platform. I don't want to be signed to nobody. That's just me personally, you know what I'm saying? Because I want to own my own image.
In the late 90s, early 2000s, a lot of things they got away with, you know,
no,
for the
definitely.
lack of law.
Yeah, the lack of law and lack of knowledge. That's the reason why, you know, for people that followed us for a while now, you know, while, you know, my son is no longer on the internet right now, you know, it's just because these are his like precious times, you know. I want him to go play in the dirt, go play games, you know what I'm saying? Get dirty, you know,
Exactly.
Read a book. You know, I don't really want his mind too intertwined with the social media stuff, or,
Right.
you know, doing things to him or showing him to try to get views and likes and followers and even money. You know what I'm saying? I put family values over money. You know what I'm saying? I take that any day.
Good for you.
Yeah, I don't care how low I got to go or whatever obstacle I got to overcome, I'm overcoming. I'm not
Right.
exploiting. I'm not doing none of that. So,
Right.
you know, pretty much, you know, it's just to protect him right now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
we still got old videos of him when he was a kid and stuff. It's like, I don't regret it, but I'm just a little bit more wiser now, you know,
Yeah,
to
I
where
still
he
wanna
doesn't,
private those.
he doesn't need to be like, you know, looking at himself in the camera, or, you know what I'm saying? You got some moms trying to dress their daughters just like them, which is fine. But when they coming out and you see little shorts and, you know what I mean, it just looks very like grown up-ish, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's just too much, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Like, they let them grow up. Don't even let them be thinking about that. You know, I see some of these girls, they just walking with phones.
When you give your kid a phone, you're not giving your kid the world. You're giving the world your kid.
Yeah.
You're exposing them to everybody.
Exactly. So everybody's different. You know what I'm saying? I look at it like there's so much stuff on the internet that could irritate the crap out of me.
Right.
But I'm like, I can't, it's out of my control. What they doing is out of my control. Only thing I can control is what I got going on. You know what I'm saying? And what I think is right and what I think is wrong. Because, everybody's out there chasing for attention. So there's some people doing some crazy stuff out there.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, there's no safety, you know, towards the kids or to anything. You know, the floodgates are open. And, hey, do what you want. Do as you please. Get
and everybody
likes,
will.
Get followers. You know, get money. You know, and it's like, you know, teach his own. Like I said, that's not me. That's not me.
And like you said, they even had, someone was pointing out, they have a page on Facebook of children using a dancing pole, which I guess some people believe that's some sort of athletic ability. But not, I mean, personally, this is me. It's not for children. But some people believe it's okay for children. They call it dance. They call it whatever they call it, you know?
Yeah.
But for me, I'm glad you spoke for yourself. But like for me, we did come together with the decision to not have our child anymore online. But for me, it was mainly like once I seen how quickly AI came about and how quickly like people were using it for evil, which, you know, deep fake. So if you don't know, deep fake is where you take someone's face and you can, you know, put it on and
make
other
it look
thing.
Real, make it seem real.
Yeah, in a video form, basically. Like in a video form, you can pretty much do whatever you want. So once I seen that, a lot of people made the decision to either blur their children's faces or not use their children anymore. And I agree. I stand on the side of protect them, you know, as much as possible, because if we are becoming aware that, you know, there's evil people out there that can, you know, use AI, then, you know, that is uncomfortable to know.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, definitely. It's a scary thing, you know, because people have seen themselves like online.
Oh yeah.
With that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And some not so good content out there, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
and really traumatized them. Like people talk
yeah.
about, like, I was traumatized when I see like there's my face, like what, you know what I mean? So it's very scary time we're living in. But you know, it's always been scary. You know, now it's just we got access to see all the scary stuff.
Exactly.
Which is YouTube and you know the news,
Yeah.
everything's connected. You know, everybody's saying it's hard times, it's tough times. It's been tough times.
Oh
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Oh
it's
yeah.
just even more just because of what's going on. You know, this digital concentration camp that
Right.
we got going on. You know,
Yeah.
and it's either you can be a part of it or you know use it for your strengths or you use it for your weaknesses. You know, and your addictions and everything that plays in, you know, when you have access to all this stuff at your hand at all times.